I'm famous on TripAdvisor, you know.
And that's my intro. Yes! And now I'm here. I'm on a farm and I have never been to this place before. So my plan is to document this place to the fullest. I've got an amazing tour guide who's going to be taking me around. I'll get the drone up so you can take an aerial view. Apparently there's a pond, there's lots of trees, well, mango trees. I've already got one. So I'm going to enjoy this mango and let's take a look around. Let's see what's happening over here. Enjoy the show. I am now in the jungle and I'm going to meet Anya right here. She's going to be taking me around, showing me around the property. We're right next to the pond. It's not a lake. She's going to tell me about that and other interesting stuff. Some of the animals that are on the farm. So let's go meet Anya. Anya, how are you doing?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you, Lou?
I'm doing awesome. We're here,
Yes.
finally. I was a little bit late.
Just a little. So let's start right over here. Come on. This is a man-made pond. It was built in the early 1980s for irrigation of bananas in this hillside where we are at the moment. 1.2 million gallons, and it also has a thriving population of tilapia. After the rainy season, you can't see the top of this rock, but by the end of the dry season, having done irrigation and evaporation, about 6 feet of that rock is visible. It's a little bit low at the moment because it gets very low during the dry season, but it's filled up sometimes with 1 or 2 good showers in the rainy season, and it's filled and overflowing. So it's definitely a godsend, especially with this current climate situation. Having water is essential. That is how you saw, so you don't damage the tree. Your turn to be the muscle.
Yeah.
you know, from 6:30, so it's not my fault. You're late.
So, Pato, comment on nous couper les herbes ici? Oui.
Il y en a autant de vie.
Ah,
Oui, mais moi, je suis malade pour des années.
ok.
Et on vient commencer. Voilà, tout ça pour 20 years. Non,
20 years. Ah,
mon gars, nous mettons pas mal.
mais quand tu nous fort,
Oui,
eh ben, sorry boy.
tout le monde est à nous faire.
That's right.
Je marche, on va poser bloc.
That's right.
Je drive, on va drive.
That's right.
Ok. Je suis soldier. India, je suis soldier.
Non, mais ça.
C'est à l'aise, hein?
Pas à l'aise.
Vous faites la route là tous les jours. C'est plus bon.
Right there. When you have weeds that are difficult and just create more grief for you in your maintenance, it's better to nip it at the bud early. So what that means is going around and digging it up at the root so it cannot produce any more flowers and seeds, and then continue to populate the field. So wherever you hear that there's brown grass is where I've gone and dug up the grass, because it's difficult to cut it with the brush cutter, and it spreads easily because there are lots of seeds that it produces. So what you do is you dig it up at the root and let the sun kill it, and then your problem's gone. At this time, it probably took me an hour to dig out. There are probably about 50 sets of grass growing. But if you leave it for another cycle of seeds, it'll go from 50 plants to 500, then to 5,000. It just multiplies very, very quickly. So if you have a problem in your field, some sort of weed, this is another one, take it out before the seeds mature, and then you save yourself unnecessary future labor. We have enough work to do as well. Don't let it get on top of you. I went to the nurseries here on the island, and I took whatever plants they had that we didn't have here yet. I took either 2 or 4 of each variety. So this one here is the Suriname cherry, and then at the back there is the Suriname gooseberry, the short one. Neither of them taste very nice. In my opinion, the West Indian cherry is nicer for fresh fruit. I find that it has an unpleasant aftertaste, but the birds like it. And because we are just in the first 3 or 4 years of reclaiming this land for agriculture, I have a couple of things as beacons to get birds and insects back down into the field so we can get the pollination cycle back in here. So not everything is for human consumption, but the biodiversity goes towards the holistic health of the ecosystem in the field, both soil health and plant health and production health, so pollination.
I'm gonna taste one of them. Don't tell Anya. Yum! I think she said they were not good, so I wouldn't have any. I'll take another. Mm-mm-mm. Yum!
What are you doing? Get back to work! This is our wax apple orchard. It starts on that side and goes all the way down. We put this in the late 1990s. It was with the Taiwanese when they started assisting farmers with diversification into other crops beyond bananas. So we do have starfruit across the road, but the wax apple here, it was very popular in the beginning, but now most people have their own trees. But we still use it. I use it for making my Christmas cakes, and I have encouraged the family to keep the field because it also provides food for the wildlife, and it keeps the birds off the mangoes, especially in the early parts of the mango season. So it's one of our sacrificial crops, you would say these days, or it assists with that. So we have 18 different varieties of mango bearing, and we put in 3 new varieties that we didn't have previously, so they should start bearing in the next 2 or 3 years. They're planted along the roadside to help with the harvesting. It's easier to pick and load, but it also creates a nice canopy, so when you're doing your hiking or walking, you have a break from the intense sunshine. So the starfruit got planted at the same time when we did the wax apple with the Taiwanese, and at that same time there was a lot of grafting of the new varieties of mangoes onto old rootstock. So we had some mangoes at the time, but we put in the grafted species that were the grafted varieties that were brought in by the Taiwanese. With the starfruit, the first few years there was good sales, but there's been all of these, concerns about people with kidney failure and whatnot and not being able to enjoy the fruit. But we still use it. I use it for chores and for making cakes as well. But here would be a good example for you to see part of the management process. It's a few months late, so it's a bit more overgrown than we like to keep it. But you can see the undershrub has come up, and what we do is right when they start to flower, we will cutlass so that the field is clear to maneuver for harvesting, and then after that we just leave it until the following year and come back again. So it's intensive work, but this way we're able to stay on top of it annually and manage with our labor difficulties, because it is tricky to get persons to do this kind of work long term. So there is mahogany growing in the field. It doesn't really affect the production of the crop just yet because the canopy isn't too big, but in the future we will have to remove them or choose between the mahogany and the starfruit. There are some places where the starfruit is starting to get a little bit taller because it's looking for light because of the competition for the canopy, but it all comes down to management. In personal life, in business, it's down to management. You can't have things perfectly. As they develop, we work around them. But as you can see, because of the pre-existing crop in the field, they have come up pretty nice and straight, so you will get some good posts out of them. I'm not saying that we're going to let them stay into a mature tree, but I'm sure we can find some use for them as posts rather than boards. Oh, turn your head.
Ow!
Hey!
We've jumped into Anya's pickup truck and we are going to do what this time?
We're going up to the organic cocoa field, doing some actual physical work to do, because Apparently what we've had done so far is child's play. We normally, well, I normally prune in line with the full moon, so that would be Wednesday's work. But there's some sticks to move around, so we can plant some string beans soon. So the beans trellis on the sticks, and just to check the field, where we are for the week, harvesting on Wednesday, pruning on Wednesday, and head back to do a couple other things, which are preparatory work for the rest of the week's work. So yeah, Monday's just been running around, seeing what needs to be done, if we can go ahead with the plan, or if we need to adjust it for any unexpected activities.
Go. Give me what you got. Give me your best shot. So you might be asking yourself, why did I want to do this? Why not? So Mondays is my official mental health Monday. So every Monday I do something that takes me away from just the norm. And I contacted Anya. This is why I'm here. She's the boss lady for the day, and she's going to be bossing me around, telling me what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And I don't know if I'll get to eat, relax, take a nap.
Relax, what's that?
I'm here for the drive, and you're here with us. I will share this experience to the best of my ability through Anya, of course, who's a lot more knowledgeable than I am, since this is my very first time on this farm. So yeah, enjoy, and we're gonna keep on driving. If anything else pops up that's interesting, you will be the first, second, third to know. See you in a bit.
This field, which extends down to the other set of mangoes, is an organic cocoa field, and I'm using regenerative agricultural practices here. So initially it was just pure cocoa, and then I saw there are quite a few gaps between the cocoa. So I put in about 20 other varieties. There are 9 types of citrus in addition to coconuts and a couple other types of nuts. There's guavas, love apple, and a few other things. So it's quite, it's a food forest at this point, I would say. But the cocoa does have the lead in terms of productivity. It was the first in. And if you look over here, the maintenance at this point is very simple. Wherever there are new shoots coming off, they'll be pruned. If you don't clip them off, they will grow into big branches. So it's much easier to do them young, and the bark will heal better. When you leave them to be too big, the bark doesn't heal. It actually leaves a sore, and then it prevents anything from growing around there. So you see the flowers are coming out where the bark is healthy. So it's important to stay on top of your maintenance. I didn't in the beginning, but you learn, you live and learn, and that was my learning curve. When you know better, you do better. If there are any black pods, and black pods can happen for a number of reasons. These ones came out when we had quite a bit of rain. You can go around and take them off if you have the time. Try not to disturb the ones that are actually thriving. Well,
Tell me why I'm clipping this particular
this will
one.
be a black pod in about 2 weeks. You can see that it's turning yellow, and it's a bit nimbly, it's shriveling. So if you want, you can actually cut it in two, so you'll see the inside. Yeah. But yeah, it's already turning color. So compared to the other one the same size, you see how they're green and purple? The biggest thing is to take out any excess branching. You do have the cocoa pods growing along the stem, so you're trying to keep the tree as healthy as possible, but you don't want it too congested. So you need the ventilation so that you don't have the buildup of fungus, which can then cause even more black pods. So some of the other trees, the black pods were because I was a bit delayed in the pruning process from October into Christmas. So that will disrupt your revenue stream. So maintenance is essential in your field husbandry. and your field husbandry, sorry, just to make sure you can get as much of the crop out. So we're pretty much on top of things. So every month it's just a matter of taking out whatever young shoots that I feel will disturb the development and the productivity of the tree. This tree over here has a bit more advanced cocoa. I've already harvested quite a few out of them. So they're starting, if you go around, you'll see they're starting to turn yellow. It means that they're maturing, so they'll be ready soon for harvest. The ones behind you, they ripen to more of an orange color. What I've realized is that when I'm preparing the seeds to plant, the ones that are white give me a mutation, which is this orange purple color. But this is what the original plant looked like. They ripen bright orange. So it was, again, a learning curve. There's not much at the moment, a pound here and there, but it's good to get into the habit of it, so that when there's a big volume, I've already built up the muscle and the new habit of doing it. And also, if you don't harvest, then you'll more than likely start building up a population of rats coming to feed on them. So it's part of the entire management. Yeah, you could say it's just a pound, leave it in the field, but before you know it, it's $30, $40, $50 worth of product. And then on top of that, you have another problem, which is a healthy rodent population eating what should be your profits. So even though it seems small, it's good to get into the new habit early. That's my tip to the youth. Start small and grow. Everything does in nature. On the lower levels, though, there's some pineapples, which I'm trying out. I would like to increase the diversity of the field even further. And we will be moving some sticks up here, like the one down here, so we can put in some peas and have another source of nitrogen injection back into the soil, but also another source of food, and another revenue stream. So in terms of farming, sometimes you don't need as much land as you think you do. It's about your design and your management, because there are a lot of gaps between trees. So I couldn't fit another cocoa tree there, but I can put a pineapple or a stick with string beans. So these days we need to be very innovative, and in terms of the regenerative agriculture practices, crop cover is very essential, and then keeping living roots in the ground. So even with the grass, I make sure there's about 3 or 4 inches left so that there's no bare soil, because bare soil just encourages evaporation and soil erosion. And yeah, there are a couple of things, but the canopies of the trees are developing quite nicely. So very soon, while we're working, there will be shade, and that will also help to reduce the amount of evaporation. And one other thing would be that it would keep the area cooler. And then when we're cutting the grass, I prefer to cut the grass. Well, first off, chemicals are not a part of regenerative agriculture, or in a small way, but when you cut the grass, it breaks down naturally and it contributes to the organic material in the soil, which then helps to build up its resilience to both drought and flooding. We don't have a risk of flooding here, but the same practice in valley lands will help you. It has been found that 1% of organic material put on an acre of land will help to increase the water holding capacity by 25,000 gallons. So it's quite a bit. So there are ways that you can manage without having such large demands for investment capital. But again, management, have a small piece of land, and then really maximize on your diversity, and you'd be surprised what you can create. Just pull them out. Some of them might break, and then however many carry them up.
Oh man, this is heavy. So I could do one at a time.
I thought you were moving.
I know, right? Manly man. So there it is, folks. Bigg Lum Entertainment is on the farm. Old McDonald's style. I'm here with Anya and she's really cool, man. She's very knowledgeable and she's fun. And I'm having a blast. Gonna put this down and get to work. Whoopsh. On the farm, farming my life away. Oh man, I can navigate to save my life. Cause I'm crashing into trees and stuff. And Anya's gonna kick my butt.
Hey, you're killing mangoes.
Yo, it is hot as bedolls. And the sky is clear, which is a good thing. I was expecting some rain. So I got my farmer boots on. See here, farmer boots. But it's honestly not needed. I'm gonna switch to my hiking boots when I get back.
Oh, wow, so
Yo, farming is hard work. And I'm gonna reward myself. I found a guava. I'm gonna eat this. Shh, don't tell Anya. Organic from the farm. Anya's coming. Let's get back to work.
when we first started this field, this was kind of like a spot to burn debris that we didn't want sitting too long because boa constrictors tend to live under the debris. So this tree was actually planted about 18 or 20 months ago, and look at it. It has the most cocoa pods in the entire field. Now, I'm not sure if it's because of all the potash, or it was the phase of the moon, or it's the soil it's sitting in, but it is a mystery. It's the first time it's bearing, and has the most pods in the field.
Thus far, I have to say, this is an amazing Mental Health Monday, thanks to Anya. Although my brains are getting work because she's giving me so much information, but I'm enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it. All right, let's see what else she's got over here. I see she's doing something in the cashew tree. What is going on, miss?
Well, there's not very much cashew yet, but I thought I would just see what I could get, because the manitou are eating them and dragging the seeds, the nuts away. Down here you can see there are quite a few seeds, nuts where the farm has been eaten, so that would be the manitou having looked for some food, and at least they left a few of the nuts close by. You can just pick them up. Sharing is caring. At least I don't have extra work to do. They've eaten the palm. So the mahogany will lose all of its leaves for a few weeks, or about 6 weeks, almost 2 months. And during that time, you'll see the seed pockets will shed their outer thicker outer layer, and then that will leave the seeds exposed, so the wind will pick them up, and then they get dispersed in that helicopter fashion. And that way we're able to get mahogany spreading, quite a few 100 feet away. And that's how we've been able to multiply our mahogany population with very little work on our part. And because the leaves have fallen, the seeds are able to get further. And then shortly after that, normally just before all the seeds have scattered, the leaves will come back and it'll look like a living tree again. So I call it fall in the Caribbean or autumn in the Caribbean, but it's just, I guess it's nature's design to help with the perpetuation of this species. I'm like, yeah, boy, I
Okay, so I've been left here by Anya. My task is to clear all the fallen palms off of these palm trees. Man, this place is gorgeous. It's a lot of work. And she mentioned something about fertilizers, boa constrictors, but make sure I get to work. So that's what I'm doing right now. It's tasking. I'm having fun. Awesome Mental Health Monday. Let's keep it moving. All right, so we're approaching a sugar mill, which Anya is going to tell me about, because I have no idea what is going on around here, but we See lots of old structures. Mango almost busting my head wide open. So we're winding down. It is now 20 minutes till 6 p.m. I'm standing right next to the sugar mill. So Anya's gonna tell me about the sugar mill. She has a few items that she needs to complete before the day ends. It's about to get dark in a little bit and we're just wrapping up. So I want to thank you so much for joining. Hey, if you enjoyed, you know what to do. Down below, hit that like button. Also, please feel free to share this video, share this link with any and everyone who can benefit. And of course, I'll be leaving the links to contact Anya down below in the description. And leave your comments. Let me know what you think. This is a beautiful place, man. Wonderful to visit. And I will definitely be back. Probably when it's time to harvest. As we move through the rest of the jungle, Anya has a chainsaw ready to smash some trees. I had a wonderful day. This was an awesome mental health Monday because I did lots of physical labor. Thanks to Anya. Get to work. So yeah, she's just wrapping up. She's got the chainsaw ready. She's about to put down, I don't think it's this tree. All right, I'm following you. It's all good if you do, it's all good if you don't, but if you don't, Anya is gonna kick your butt.